With memory and storage prices at an all-time high, now might be the best time to buy a pre-built PC and put the screwdriver down. Or is it? Let's unbox this and check out the build quality as well as run some games and benchmarks to see what the performance looks like, and then compare it to a parts list if you were to build this yourself. We got the quick start guide right here. So inside the box we have a quick start guide, the PC itself, and an accessories box. And inside this accessories box, we have some extra mounting hardware that came with the cooler, as well as the Wi-Fi antenna and the power cable. Let's open up the tempered glass side panel and remove some of the packaging. Awesome, and it seems like everything arrived in perfect condition. So before we connect this PC to a monitor and start playing some games, let's check out the build quality of this PC. So this is inside the NZXT H6 Flow case, which offers 3 120mm fans as intake, bringing in fresh air at the corner right here, and it's angled in a way that aims fresh air toward the GPU and the rest of the components. At the top, we have 2 correctly mounted exhaust fans on top of this radiator right here for this NZXT Kraken AIO liquid cooler. And I also really like this clean and minimalistic black and white build. We have the white case with the white radiator, the white fans, the white tubing, as well as the white pump block. And then we have a black motherboard, black GPU, and black RAM. All the cables appear to be fully seated and plugged in the correct positions. I don't see anything really wiggling or improperly connected. The pump block is pretty secure in there and the GPU is not really wobbling. All the motherboard screws are also fully installed as well. So I'm really impressed. And in terms of cable management, most of the cables are concealed through the correct grommets as well as cutouts. Let's take a look at the other side of the case to see cable management toward the power supply. So let's unscrew this side panel. The side panel was unusually sticky, but managed to get it loose. And let's take a look at the cable management toward this side. So this is a non-modular power supply, meaning all the power cables are pre-installed in the power supply and you can't remove them. And that increases the complexity of cable management because if you aren't using any cables, you have to just zip tie them down, which I really like that they used. Zip ties as well as these Velcro ties right here to tie everything. And yeah, this looks pretty much perfect. It looks way better than anything I would have accomplished though. One thing I did notice was that when I took out the other side panel and it was super difficult, the part of the case up here seems to be slightly dented, and that might be the reason as for why it was so hard to pull this out. Not a huge concern. It might have been damaged during shipping. Wouldn't really impact performance because it's just a small part of the case. All the radiator screws at the top are also installed, so this thing probably isn't going anywhere. So overall, I'm really impressed with the build quality and cable management. I'm gonna close this thing up and then connect it to a monitor and start firing up some games. So for the specs of this NZXT Player 2 Prime PC, the CPU is the AMD Ryzen 7 9700X with 8 cores and 16 threads, and the CPU is the brain of the computer. To cool the CPU, we have the NZXT Kraken 240 RGB, and this is an all-in-one liquid cooler that requires no maintenance, so all the liquid stays inside a closed loop. The motherboard is the Gigabyte B650 UD-AX that supports AM5 CPUs, and the motherboard is basically, I guess, the spine of the computer where all the components connect to. For RAM or short-term memory, we have the Team Group T-Force Delta RGB, 32 gigabytes, and it's 2 16GB sticks rated for 6,000 megatransfers, but it's currently running at 4800 because the Expo profile was not enabled in the BIOS, and enabling that to run the RAM at 6,000 megatransfers is just the click of a single button. And looking at the price of RAM these days, it's basically a humongous portion of the entire budget, and quite frankly, more expensive than the CPU itself. For long-term storage, we have the Western Digital WD Blue SN5000 2 terabytes, and that's a great amount of storage to hold all your games and files. The graphics card inside here is the Asus Prime RTX 5070 Ti with 16 gigabytes of VRAM. You can think of the GPU or the graphics processing unit as a chip that helps process graphics to run games and other media on the PC. The case that's holding everything is the NZXT H6 Flow, which is a mid-tower ATX-sized case, and the power supply powering everything is an MSI one rated at 750 watts. And it's also non-modular, meaning all the power cables are already plugged in. For the operating system, it's running Microsoft Windows 11 Home. So I connected a monitor to the back of the graphics card to use the performance of the graphics card. Make sure not to plug into the back of the motherboard unless you're using the integrated graphics. I connected the Wi-Fi antennae as well as the power cable into the power supply, and then flicked the power supply switch on and pressed the power button at the front of the case to turn on the PC. And I connected a keyboard and mouse to actually use the PC. So let's set this thing up in Windows 11 Home. Let's accept the license agreement. Check for Windows updates. I'm at 2% of step 1 of 3. Alright, time to sign into my Microsoft account. Well, now that we're finishing up the Windows setup, I'm gonna go download a few games as well as benchmark software and start running that on this PC. Alright, let's load up the Cinebench benchmark to stress test the CPU and see how hot it gets, as well as run some games like Fortnite, Valorant, and Battlefield. So I have Cinebench R23 right here. I ran it earlier and got a score of about 19,000, and let's run it for about 10 minutes and just check out how hot the CPU gets. And I've also had the PC running for a bit with the liquid temperature being warmed up. Alright, so we're seeing the CPU temperatures reach the high 60s in degrees Celsius, and this is actually pretty impressive for the 9700X. It goes to show that with the fans and the pump for this NZXT Kraken cooler running at the silent profile, it shouldn't overheat in this case configuration. Alright, so I loaded up Fortnite. These are the settings I'm running. So I'm at 1440p resolution, full screen, DirectX 12, mostly epic settings with NVIDIA Reflex low latency on plus boost and ray tracing off. So let's load into a solo game. I don't even have a mouse pad, but we're gonna make this work. I want to push the frame rate a bit, so let me change to medium settings with view distance on epic. Oh, I got one guy. Oh, dang. That was easy. Alright, I loaded up Valorant. Alright, I loaded up a deathmatch from Valorant. This game's really easy to play on most PCs, getting over 600 frames already. Alright, next up is Battlefield 6. Compiling shaders. I'm gonna run the graphics quality at ultra. I'm getting about 120 to 130 frames right now, and I haven't done much in the game other than get 2 kills. Oh, GPU temperature is also sitting at about 63 degrees Celsius right now, which isn't too hot. And just putting my hand on top of the case. I'm getting some warm air at the top, but it's not too hot, which is good. Alright, so performance on this NZXT Player 2 Prime PC was pretty solid. We got great frame rates in a few games, as well as a good productivity score in Cinebench R23. And in terms of thermals, the CPU maxed out in the low 70s in degrees Celsius, and the GPU maxed out in the low 60s, which is nowhere near the dangerous threshold of 95 to 100 degrees Celsius. If we were to part out every single component on PC Part Picker to see how much it would cost to build it yourself, it would actually cost a little bit more at $2,644.42 at the time of filming this, including Windows 11 Home. But I did swap out the MSI power supply with a fully modular 80 plus gold one, which is slightly different than this non-modular power supply. And even if you removed Windows 11 Home, it would oddly enough be more expensive to build it yourself. And not to mention, NZXT includes a 2-year warranty with this build, which gives a bunch of peace of mind. They also use regular consumer parts, not proprietary OEM stuff. So if you ever wanted to upgrade the CPU, RAM, GPU, or power supply, you could always just swap it out for something new. And speaking of upgrading, the only changes I could potentially see myself making for this build in the future, if I ever wanted to spruce up the performance and the aesthetics, would be to potentially add some extra fans at the bottom below the GPU for extra intake to bring in more fresh air, and then an extra fan at the back for exhaust to take out the hot air. And this would just fill up the empty space and make the case look a bit more full. In terms of performance and thermals, it's completely optional, seeing as how cool the CPU and GPU run. I would also enable the Expo profile for the RAM in the BIOS. It's just a simple button that overclocks the RAM to 6,000 megatransfers. Technically, it's not guaranteed to run at that speed, which seems like the reason NZXT did not enable it, but it's worth a shot to squeeze out a bit extra performance with just the click of one button. So the build quality of this thing is superb, cable management is great, and if you part out everything, it seems like it's a bit cheaper for NZXT to build it for you and offer a warranty. So I think the NZXT Player 2 Prime is absolutely a no-brainer. The only reason I would go with a custom PC in this current RAM environment is if you could find cheaper used RAM if you already had a kit from months ago, or if you could buy a used kit from a friend or Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp, one of those platforms, or maybe if you even just buy fully used parts and just build a full used system. Those are some of the only ways to get a significantly cheaper build, but it seems that if you purchase all the parts individually right now at major retailers like Amazon, B&H, and Newegg, it is going to be more expensive. Plus, you have to build it yourself and worry about the troubleshooting. If you're interested in learning more about the NZXT Player 2 Prime, I'll link it in the description section of this video. Let me know what you think of this in the comments section, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed.